Welcome back, guys, to the Player Zone YouTube channel. And today's episode, we'll be looking at some of the elite kits for the 23-24 season around the Premier League, around the rest of Europe. There's some weird and funky designs coming out, and I guess as football fans, before the season starts, this is the most excitement we'll get for a few months until we get the players back on the field there. But there's no better place to start, I guess, than the Premier League. And the first one here, Arsenal's home kit. So a nice design, some gold trimming there. I feel like since Adidas have taken over the kits at Arsenal, they've been beautiful, most of them. Obviously, the gold trim would have been handy if they won the league. But no, overall, great design. It's the Emirates logo now has almost come synonymous with Arsenal. Great, as I say, great gold trim. Adidas seem to never get it wrong with the Arsenal kit. We'll see in the future. There's maybe a few questionable ones, but this first one, this home kit, it's a clean design. It's a beautiful design. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'm looking at probably an 8.5. It's a beautiful looking kit. It fits all the boxes, ticks all the boxes, and hopefully the Arsenal team this year will try and be pushing for a title in gold this season. Now we come on to some of the rumour, the leaks here. Firstly, the Arsenal away kit. I'll hopefully chuck it up on screen here. This is an abomination. I get it. Yep. You're going to try and be funky. You're going to try and be fancy with the away kits and the third kits, but this is just, I don't know what I'm looking at. This is spew on a shirt after someone's eaten highlighters. It looks like it is. The colours, it's going to be bold. They may match into the pitch quite nicely with a bright green there, but yeah, nothing that I would be a fan of at all. I don't know what Arsenal fans think of it. I don't know what football fans think of it. Adidas have tried something. I mentioned before that they never really get Arsenal kits wrong, but this one's, compared to the last few years, we got the pink kit and the yellow kits in the last few years. This one falls very short, and I'm not a fan. Or even the blue trim of the Arsenal logo, the Adidas logo and the Emirates logo there, I'm not a real big fan of that at all. For me, if this leak is in fact true, I may not watch Arsenal games. No. It's not a great looking kit. I'm gonna have to give it a 1.5 out of 10. And the final leg for the Arsenal kit is the third kit. Again, a similar sort of green vibe. They've gone like a really dark green on the main body, and then sort of a dark black shoulder with a silver 3 stripes on the side there. I like the Emirates and the Gunner logo. That's, I guess, closer to gold again, and a nice sort of feature that pops out the page. Again, the colour's really dull. They've tried to change it up. It's obviously better than the away kit, which is an abomination in my eyes, but I'm looking at it, it's nothing much special. I don't like how these days the shoulders are different for the body of the kit. I'm not sure I'm a fan of all of that. It's a third kit, right? So it's there to wear, 3 or 4 times a year, or if you're lucky. I don't think you want to be wearing that, but you don't want to be wearing the away kit either, to be honest, if you're Arsenal fans. It's not much better than the away kit. It's a bit more acceptable. Again, the shoulders, I'm not sure about the shoulder and the body of the kit being all mix and matched. I got to give it just a 4 out of 10. I'm being very generous, that one there. We come to Aston Villa now. I don't mind this kit. I don't know, personally, I'm not a big the maroon and blue kits. The new sponsor and the chest of the kit, it takes away from the kit a little bit, I think. I'm not really a big fan of this BK8. Yeah, I don't know what the brand is at all, but I'm not really a fan of that sponsor. It takes away from the kit, but a nice sort of pattern design on the body of the kit. Obviously, they changed the logo. I like the new logo. Very, very clean, very modern. Castore done great jobs with kits in the last few years. Unlike the Arsenal third kit, the shoulder and the body comparison, the change up there is quite nice. It's quite neat. The shoulder logos fit in quite nicely. It's an overall, solid kit. You can't do much really with an Aston Villa home kit. You can't be too adventurous. I just think that main sponsor takes away from it for a bit. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Now coming to Brentford, the home kit has been leaked. Again, Brentford kit, you can't really do much with it. Umbro have changed slightly from the thin lines now to this season. We've got leaked here some thick sort of bolder lines with the black trimming around the shoulder, the neck place, and then it's under the underarms there. Not bad a design. Quite, sleek, quite clean. Nothing much into it. I'm not a fan of the gradient. However, that sort of gradient that drops down, you can't really fade into black for me. You got to fade into maybe a white or a lighter color. I'm not a fan of the gradient going to black. However, it's a Brentford kit. It's got the red, it's got the white. It does what it needs to do. As far as home kits go, it's not going to be the worst home kit. But again, I'm just not a fan of the whole gradient into black. It's hit and miss on this one. I'm going to give it a rating of... I'm going to be generous. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. It does its job. I think it's not as good as the previous kit, but definitely fills a role for the home kit. Now coming on to the Nike kits, the Brighton kit for next season. Obviously in Europe next year, so we might be seeing this kit a bit more often. The third kit for Brighton, they've gone back to that really vibrant colour again in a third strip here. It's a vibrant orange, the black trimming on the outside. I love the seagull in black. That is super duper nice detail. A bit of a gradient, I guess, from left to right there on the kit. It goes a bit darker, the orange looking colour there. Really stands out, pops out. I have a bit of a romance at Brighton, and this kit hasn't stopped me there. It's super duper clean. I love the way it's all put together. Obviously the shoulders are a slightly different colour to what's on the body of the kit, but not too much. But the black trimmings just make it look super clean. The American Express logo now is quite synonymous with the Brighton team. I really love the kit. Happy to see it running around in Europe, and I got to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really nice, clean third kit. Now coming on to another controversial one for me, another Nike kit. It's Chelsea's home kit this year, which is once again a leak, and it's leaked with this gold trimming that they're going back to. So back to the Eden Hazard, Samsung sort of days. Don't know if 3 is going to be the main sponsor still. Not really a fan of the 3 sponsor the last few years. It's been a bit hit and miss with the Chelsea kits. I don't know what I think about this one. It looks a bit tacky. It looks a bit made out of Bangladesh about it. I don't really like the whole gold trimming. If you're not a team that's up there pushing for titles and the like, and a team that finished mid-table and did awful last season, I'm not sure you've been running around with gold in this sort of reflective material. Obviously, it's a Chelsea colour. It's got to be blue. But I think a lot of people have said, and it's a fair comparison, it looks a bit like the Everton kit from the last years or two. And rumours that Stake may come in as the main sponsor, so it would literally be a carbon copy of an Everton kit. And that's a great comparison, to be honest. From last season at Chelsea, they were no better than Everton, an awful season last year. But hoping to bounce back this year with Poch. And with this kit, I think I'm going to be tough on it. I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't think like how the colours are put together. The white under the underarm there, I'm not really a big fan of that at all. I got to give it a 4.5 out of 10. It's not great on the eye, but with many Chelsea kits in the last few years, when they're being worn in the game, they're a bit better than what they seem. But with this leak early on, I'm not very hopeful for the kit, for the home kit for the Chelsea boys there. Now we come around to a kit that I absolutely adore. So the Crystal Palace home kit is being worn. It was worn the last game of the Premier League season. A great design. I guess on face value, if you just look at it from a glance, it just looks like red and blue. But look at the intricate details, the whole design there based around the home stadium, the tifo they have up there, a lot at the Selhurst Park there. A great design. I like the little thin white strip down the middle. The logos all sit nicely. It's super clean. Palace kits are hit and miss it sometimes, but this is nailed to perfection. Macron did a great job here. I can't say much else, but it's just a clean kit. It suits the team. It's got a bit of the history. It's got a bit of the area about it, which is, I love that. It's an inspiration about the area. Again, super clean. They have not missed a beat here with this Crystal Palace kit, and they've had a few good kits in the last few years, and this is no different. And for me to slam dunk, it's got to be a 9 out of 10 for me. This one is absolutely beautiful, and hopefully they can get some home wins with this one on, because it's an absolute beauty of a kit. Now we go the opposite way with Fulham, an Adidas kit. Jokes about a Tommy Hilfiger inspiration. I'm looking at it now. You've got a red shoulder panel and a white shoulder panel. Adidas have missed the trick here. I'm not sure about this at all. Again, the whole black shoulder with the white body, I'm not a big fan of that either. And then the button, I'm not really a big fan of it. Buttons, sometimes they can be done well. You look at the Arsenal kit, that was very nice last year with the button, but this one doesn't look like it's hit the mark for me. And the off-matched Adidas stripes on the shoulders I'm not a fan at all. Obviously full on black and white, you can't do much with it, but the whole getting the red in there with the white, I'm not a big fan of that at all. It looks a bit tacky, looks a bit cheap. For a team with a great season last year, I'm just not a big fan of it at all. I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10. Looking at the Fulham third kit was also be rumoured to come out. Very similar to kits of the past, that vibrant, sort of bright, at your eye, at your face sort of colours. It does a great job. Obviously, it stands out to third kit. It's supposed to do that. I love the texture design in the front, really, really clean. I think the back sort of a plain colour, which is good for spectating purposes. But no, a really nice kit. I'm hoping that sponsor isn't there anymore. I'm not a big fan of how big and overpowering the WA8 sponsor is there. But overall, it does its job. It's out, it's in your face. Companies have a go and have some fun with the third kit, because the home kits and away kits these days are very, down the line, very, very safe these days. But this one, I think it ticks a box. It's exciting. It'll be something nice to be worn. I've got to give it a 7 out of 10. It does a good job. Now, one of the big boys, Liverpool. Their home kit, obviously worn on the last game of the season. They do that quite often. They go Liverpool. Nike done well with this one. It's super clean. I hate to say it as a United fan, but this is a beautiful looking kit. It's that, I guess, flat red colour, but you got the swervy sort of patterns in the background, which they had in that white monstrosity last season, but they've just gone a bit simpler this year with those sort of darker red imprints of the swerve on the jersey. They take away from that weird sort of design Nike have with that curved shoulder patterning. So there's no big change in colour, which I like. It's clean, it's a solid red colour throughout. Super clean white straps around the shoulder, around the neck there. The standard chartered sponsor, it does it right. It's a decent sponsor. The Expedia sponsor I like on the shoulder. This will be very clean. Hopefully Liverpool can bounce back this year and fight back into the Champions League with this kit on. But yeah, it hurts me to say it, it pains me to say it, but it's a beautiful looking kit, and it reminds me a bit of a traditional type kit, quite simplistic, but just magnificent in the way it's executed. This home kit, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. It is almost near perfect. Now, on the opposite hand, the away kit for Liverpool. Again, the company's trying to have some fun with the away kits and the third kits, but this, I don't know if this comes straight out of Minecraft with a block idea. I don't know what is going on. Obviously, in the past, I've had that sort of boxed and cubed structure to the kits. Thinking back to the Luis Suarez and that early Stevie G sort of slipping title run era. But this one, I'm just not sure. It looks more like a streetwear item than it should be on a football pitch. They've tried something. I think they've missed. I'm just not sure white and the black logos match with this dark green, light green sort of boxed, glitchy sort of attempt. It's a fun looking jersey, I guess. Yeah, I'd wear it in the street. I wouldn't be wearing it on a football pitch though. Not sure how this one lands. For me, with the black trimmings, just not a big fan of that at all. It's got to be a 6 for me. I appreciate the effort and appreciate the attempt to try something different, but I think it's fallen well short. Now we come to the treble winners, Manchester City. They've released their home kit. They've worn this home kit already. Super clean, right? Man City, again, the home kit, you can struggle to do much with it, but they've gone with sort of panel design, darker panels in the middle. Puma have gone for a nice collar there, collar design, not rounded this year. They've gone a nice sort of triangle base at the tip there. Clean sponsor, Etihad and Puma. It looks nice in the kit. I like the paneling design. They're champions for a reason. They look very good in this kit. It's super clean. Once again, simplistic, but does the small things right. Awesome to look at. I'm giving it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Really nice kit, really clean. And they'll look the part in this kit. Now we come to Manchester United, my team, my favourite team. As most years, the league's always kind of nice and early, and we're looking at the home kit here. I'm in love with this kit. Adidas nail it with the United and Arsenal kits, it seems, the last few years. You've got the Flowers of Manchester design that's sort of all over the background of the kit. A nice solid red background there, dark red, which the flowers, the lighter red, can stand out. The TeamViewer sponsor now is not across, it's sort of bolded and thickened up a bit, which looks a bit nicer. But once again, not overpowering the kit. A clean black trim on the shoulders. The black design around the neck there, awesome, super clean, super neat. I love the small details. Again, it's a very simplistic kit, but the small details like City had with the flowers of Manchester here for United, it's super clean, super nice. The simplistic Adidas logo on there as well. It's an awesome kit, and I'm rating this pretty highly. I'm trying to take bias out of it, but for me, it's got to be an 8.5 out of 10. It does all the things it needs to do. It's a red kit. Takes a bit of Manchester, like Crystal Palace's kit, take a bit of the history and the area into account, adds that to the kit. It's beautiful. And I think it can be 8.5 out of 10 or even higher. But on the contrary, we have the away kit. And once again, I don't know what the hell they had in mind out of us here. It's a black, dark green looking thing, white trimmings down the body, but also over the shoulders. Again, I think a kit can be wrong, but just the shoulders. And there's a line from the shoulders outwards. There's lines going down with this white and thin red pinstripe sort of style. The white out of the this is awful. Seriously, I buy 2 kits a year. I always buy the home kit, and I pick between the third and away kit. But I am going to avoid this at all costs, unless we have an even worse third kit. It is late to come out. I think it is almost now going to happen, it seems. But this is the most disgusting away kit I think I've seen so far this year. The colours don't match. I'm not a fan of it at all. I'd like just a plain black kit if anything. It's this sort of dark green. It's not great to look at it at all. Do not want to see us running around in this much at all. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 10. Speaking of black, we come to Newcastle now. Their home kit, the black and white stripes. You can't do much with it. Castor again, the sponsor. I'm not a fan of this new major sponsor that's sitting in the middle of the kit. Obviously, the colours suit the kit well, but I just think it's a bit too much. It stands out a bit too much. Again, you can't do much with this Newcastle kit. It's going to be the black and white stripes. A decent kit. To be seen in the Champions League this year, that'll be exciting to see. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this sort of major sponsor sitting in the middle of the shirt. For me, it's had to be a stock sort of 5.5 out of 10. Now we come to the Newcastle third kit. Similar to last year with a Saudi influence. It's a green design. There was just funky, really funky green sort of patterning going on over the body of the kit. I like it. It's aggressive. It's out there. It's in your face a bit. I'm still embracing the black and white over the neck and arm sleeves there. It's bold. I'd like if the logos were white, so they stood out a bit. That's sort of just a drawback for me, but I like the funky design. I like all the different patterns, the Dorito-like shapes on the kit there with the dark green panellings. It's a cool kit. I like it a lot. It screams sort of out there. It screams bold, which Newcastle are trying to be. They're trying to be bold. They're trying to be out there and compete with their Champions League rivals and the Premier League rivals. This is a beautiful kit for me. I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. Now we come to the Forest kit, the home kit for this year. Obviously stayed up last year. This is a very, very dodgy sort of photo, but it seems like it is being worn in a promotional shoot. Again, very simplistic. Forest has stayed simple. The nice Adidas sponsorship over the shoulder there, the white stripes, going away from Macron from last year. Obviously, Forest kits are normally just red, and I don't mind the thick sort of white neck design there. Again, super clean, super simplistic. You can't really go wrong with the kit. It's anything special, but it does a job right. I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. We come to the Forest away kit. Now this is once again a really, really early sort of scratchy sort of Roma and Lake, but I don't mind it. It's different. It's an away kit. It's going to be a bit different. Obviously predominantly white, which you need in a away kit, but I like the black trimmings of the Adidas logo, the simplistic Adidas logo. Again, the 3 stripes in black. The Forest logo stands out in black. See those 2 stars on top of the Forest. Like, I like it. I'm not sure what the squiggly lines of the blue. I'd like if the blue was sort of blended in a different sort of way, but they've gone about it in that fashion. I don't mind it at all. It's obviously going to stand out. That's what you need it to on an away kit. I'd like maybe if the patterns continue over the shoulders, but that's fine. It still looks clean over the body of the kit. Once again, a solid effort. Again, nothing special, nothing outstanding. got to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And we're coming to the end. The last few teams are the Premier League kits. Now we come to Tottenham. Tottenham every year, the same story comes out. It's almost the same kit. Once again, it's a predominantly white kit. They've gone the blue trimmings over the arm sleeves there. Obviously, the Tottenham Hotspur itself in that dark blue as well. They've done that perfectly fine. That's the basics, what you expect now from a Tottenham kit. They've got the nice different paneling though, the little darker designs over the body of the kit. I don't mind that as well. It's a bit nice. It's a bit different, I guess. Changed it up. The AIA in red, I'm still not a fan of it. I think it's a bit odd. Tottenham aren't red. That's their neighbours. That's Arsenal's kit. But overall, I think they've done well. Nike, obviously, you can't do much with a Tottenham kit. They seem to go very bland and boring in the home kit, and then the away kits go funky and weird, and we're asking what the hell are those? But no, I think this kit, it does a job. It's a Tottenham kit. I like to try to add a little bit of paneling, the silver paneling in there. Solid kit once again. Tottenham, 6 out of 10 for a home kit. Now we have the rumours of this Tottenham away kit. Again, it's a very dodgy sort of picture that's been taken of this rumour. I don't mind the looks of it though. The collar looks alright. The colours are sort of old school, like the Gareth Bale era Tottenham, where you got the greys, the darker colours. Once again, Nike, they've got this really weird reflective sort of material on the Hotspur and the Nike logo, similar to the Chelsea one, that sort of goldy reflective material. Not sure about that, but overall the kit looks nice. I like the collar, that sort of blue collar. The V-neck though, I'm not sure how it's gone grey there. I'd like it sort of to match the colour on the collar. Overall they tried saying, obviously most years looks like a art piece on the away kit, but this is a more simplistic design of a basic sort of away kit. It's going back to the early 2000s and 2010s and the like. Don't mind it, it's different. I think it'll do a job, and once again, I guess I can't give it more than a 6.5. There's nothing very special. And with that being said, we come to our final team, Wolverhampton, with the last leaks for the Premier League. Looking at this home kit, Castore again, very simplistic. The V-neck up top with the black and white there over the V-neck, the neck and the arms. Astro Pay is a nice logo, located nicely on the kit there. Pretty simplistic. It's a yellow kit with a few thin black stripes. Clean design. Once again, nothing special. Got to give it a 6 out of 10. And I guess a few kits from elsewhere around Europe. Looking at the AC Milan home kit here, this thing is beautiful. It's more of a fashion piece than anything else as well. It is an absolutely lovely kit. Puma have killed it with this one. The almost V type design with the black marks going in and in and in on the way down. You've got the black, you've got the red, but it's not just thick, it's not just solid lines, it's aggressive, it's bold. And the Milan kit, AC Milan kits in the last few years have been magnificent. I've kind of have to get my hands in this one, it looks like, because this is a beautiful kit. The trimming, the nice black trimming looks clean. The white Puma and Emirates logo stand out. And the Milan logo hidden a little bit. I'd like if it was a little bit bigger, but there's obviously regulations around that. But overall, this is a piece of art, this kit. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It is just lovely. And hopefully they'll be competing for a Serie A again in this lovely kit. Another kit from Serie A, the Juventus kit. Now, mixed opinions on this one. There's a lot of positive about this kit. I like the sort of texture design and almost like the shockwave design of the black and white stripes. I think it's very bold, it's very out there. I like the look of it. Once again, probably more of a fashion piece than a football kit. The yellow trimming is different. I like it. It's bold. It stands out and it's really nice. But for me, the Jeep logo, I don't know why every year it needs to be a lightning Jeep logo. If this was a simple Jeep logo that just had the black bolded writing, I'd be a fan of this kit. I'd love this kit. I love the yellow. I'm a big fan of yellow. So any sort of yellow trimming on a kit, I'll be around it. I like that it's bold design they've taken. But this Jeep lightning logo, I don't know what they're doing with that, to be honest. I'm confused. I'm at a loss for why they do it. That for me takes away a lot away from this kit. A rating out of 10, I'm going to go 6.5. It would have been an 8, I reckon, if it just been a flat, normal Jeep logo, but I'm not a fan of that Jeep Lightning logo at all. It's a final kit to look at. I'm going to look at the Bayern kit here, the new home kit. Embrace a bit more white. It's a bit of a different home kit. A solid sort of white patterning on the body, The red design on the shoulders there. Once again, I'm not a big fan of that separation, but it seems to work in this kit. Adidas done a good job again. The T mobile sponsor now, just having a T in the middle. I'm not much of a fan of that. Looks a bit funky, looks a bit different. But I like the white design. It's different. It's exciting. It's a clean design to look at. It's simplistic in its way, but it's efficient. Very German, very efficient. Looks very nice. Thomas Muller obviously modelling this one here. Yeah, I'm a fan of it. I like the white over the arm sleeves there. Obviously the white paneling of the Adidas over the shoulders. A clean design, very, very nice to look at, very simplistic. Obviously the 10-time winners in a row now of the Bundesliga. They've done a great job with this kit. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. And with that being said, guys, that wraps up this video. Bit of a different one. I enjoyed it though this time of the year with the transfers and the like. This is sometimes the most excitement we get as football fans, having a look at the leaks of the kits and the rumours and the like. Some good kits in there from the Premier League teams, some decent kits in elsewhere over Europe. I liking some of the bold designs going out there, and there's some few misses out there as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Remember, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, keep sharing with friends and mates. And if you like this type of videos, these sort of different types of videos where it's not just to shows, podcasts, conversations, it's more of this sort of different type of video, let me know. I'll be trying to get more videos of this out there as the season comes close to the start of the season for the football year and other sports as well. But really enjoyed this video, really enjoyed analysing the different kits, and I'm excited to see you guys again for another episode of a podcast or a show very, very soon.